They're gonna go up and down this every day when they can go around it.
Well, early season.
That's a good trail you're standing in.
You can kill deer right here.
Beat out.
Cause you got, this is a nice little ridge right here. You got the road real close over there. And you got this little high ridge. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 white oak trees, a few red oak trees in here. But this little swag in between these two ridges, they'll come down this close, they feel comfortable, and they'll eat right here in this little old swag. And if you look close on the ground, you can still see where all the leaves has been just kicked back, tore up, and it ain't, it don't look like the rest of the forest. You know, you can see even when the turkeys come in and scratch, you can just see the activity on the leaves down in there. So you know this is a good early season spot, even though this is March. And you scout and you say, well, you have to, and they got that rub on that one little tree over there, cedar. Pretty decent rub over there on that tree. But we ain't in the good spot. We ain't even close to the good spot. I just want to let you know you can't kill them as close to the road as this spot right here. They'll, yeah, it's beautiful woods. And they'll come off top of that hill right there, cause they bed up there on top. That's where they bed. We're gonna go up there to the bed area. I'll show you how they come down. Over there, about 2 ridges over, is the best spot to hunt. You'll catch your bucks coming in on that side.
Getting in the pines.
You don't hardly ever see a buck this far over. It's by the time they get over here, it's dark. But I'll show you how them bucks, they'll come down on that edge over there because it's real thick. And I've seen quite a few bucks coming down through there. I almost killed one day. He just kept coming down that ridge, kept coming. He wanted me to kill him. Seemed like every time I sat over, he's a real pretty 6-point. I just kept letting him walk. Even though this is public hunting land, I let him walk. He got to be a pretty good deer. Never did kill him. You see his rub right here, David?
Yep. Sure will.
That's a pretty decent rub right there.
You see them, can't you hear the old one right here?
Yeah. They one hanging out up here. It's all trashy. He could be bedding down. He could be bedding down right in here. Either on this point or that and over there. I bet we find a good buck bedding in here somewhere. I just always had a sneaking suspicion that there'd be one bedded here. It's so trashy, thick, so hard to get to. It's got all the ingredients. So let's see if we can find it. I'm gonna show you, got deer droppings all over the place here. You got a pile there. About 3 or 4 steps over here, you got a pile. You can hear that highway right there. We just right on the edge of the road. I say, well,
look how junky that is.
It's so trashy, nobody wants to come in here, and it's so steep. And it's just a bluff, you know. And that would
off on that side, just like the
pretty much prevent people from, well, not it. You got nuts like us would come up here and hunt it, but there's a majority of the folks would shy away from something like this because it's so hard to get to, even though it's this close to the road.
What does that look like?
On a spot like this, I'm going to try to explain to you why this would be such a really good rut spot. It's flat on top. See how it's all flat on top? It's real thick too. Over there, you got a finger ridge that runs down. That's just covered up, deer droppings up and down that trail. Right here, you got a finger ridge. It goes out there and drops off into a steep point. You got the head of a hollow here. You got a finger ridge right there, and it drops off real steep into. You got a hollow on this side and a hollow on this side. That there's a big hollow coming around, making a little bowl area right there, and then it tapers up into that high ridge. This is kind of a little bit lower than that high ridge. Right there you got a finger ridge that drops off over there. Right there you got a finger ridge dropping off into that holler. Right there you got a finger ridge dropping off into that holler. And right here you got a finger ridge that barrels back around, dropping off into that deep holler. All these finger ridges, they all meet right here, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
If a deer comes up that ridge, wherever, they got to come through this little area that we're standing in, mm-hmm, to cross over and get into the other one. That's why a buck deer during the rut would bed in an area like this. He could position himself off of any one of these finger ridges that he wants to. He ain't got to walk. He really ain't got to walk 75 yards to get to any one of these little fingers and lay down in bed for wind directions, if he was concerned about wind directions. Up here, in all honesty, he probably don't get a lot of hunting pressure on this spot. Mm. I mean, I'd be surprised if anybody come in here to hunt him. If they did, they'd come in from that far side over there and they'd push deer to this side. Or they'd come in from that far side and push deer up here from that side. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You got a lot of deer activity still in here this late in the year, so it's a good spot. Tell me now, why is this a good spot?
Security.
Security.
Yeah.
Are you in the military now? Where would you camp?
On top of the hill.
You'd camp here. Why would you camp here? You keep eye on everything going on around you.
Anything coming to you.
Anything coming to you, going away. Yep. Yeah. So this would be a good strategic point if you was in the military trying to kill somebody or somebody trying to kill you.
Top of the hill, high ground.
Yeah, you can't get away from that military, can you, buddy?
What would you do? If you had to camp out at night, I won't be down there.
I can't argue with you. That's where I'd pick a spot like this too.
If something comes up here,
it's got all the necessary ingredients for you to be able to survive.
Is down there.
Yeah, well you know, they'll go down there at night and get their water. They don't have to go. They don't have to travel far.
That's a tree that's been bowed over.
There might be a bed over on that blowdown. I'm gonna walk over on that blowdown and see if there's a bed on it.
Mm-hmm. I'd say there would be. It's been accumulated.
What does it smell like?
Smells like hay. Smells like hay.
Out here in the middle of the woods, just laying there in a pile.
That was flown in.
Yeah, it come out of that tree above us.
That tree.
Some kind of nest up there.
You see them rough twigs, and that was the bed.
Squirrels don't usually make a nest out of that kind of stuff. They'll use leaves.
That was the bedding on the inside where the bird was. That's a bird's nest.
Some kind of. Oh, that up there looks like a squirrel nest, really, in all honesty.
Well, it does, but the crow's nest looks like it.
I don't know where that stuff there come from. That's odd.
It come from that. That blowed apart. This side's gone.
Hey, let's spread it out over here. We'll make a deer bed out of it. You can tell he's marked this trail right here pretty good. Another good rub on this tree right here. Yeah, that's an older rub right there, but when you start seeing old rubs and new rubs in the area, it means that it's an area that used year after year.